Welcome back, 5th grade. I'm here to help you review Chapter 8. You're going to do page 192, the even problems, but you will be skipping this section right here where it says use compatible numbers to estimate. You do not have to do this section. So I'm going to do a couple of problems on this page to get you started. So in the first part, it tells you to write a multiplication sentence for each model. So let's look at number 2, because that's the even problem. So I'm going to draw the rectangle here. That is drawn. So this is number 2. So here if I draw this rectangle, and I can see that this rectangle was first divided into thirds. Okay, and 2/3 of the rectangle was shaded in. So I know I'm going to be multiplying 2/3 times something. And then I see that the rectangle was divided into 4ths this way. And 3/4 was shaded in. So I am looking for the section where I have purple and red. And I can see that that's right here. And I can count and see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First I need to write down my second problem. 2/3 times 3/4. And then I have 6 blocks shaded in, purple and red, out of, if I count all of them, I see there are 12, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3 is 12. 6/12, which I know equals 1/2. So that is number 2. Now I'm going to go on to number 4, which says use rounding to estimate the product. So number 4 is 2/3 times 4 1/4. So I need to round both of those to the nearest whole number. Well, I know that 2/3 is in between 0 and 1. Remember that I have to decide if my fraction is greater than half or less than half. And I do that by multiplying my numerator by 2. 2 times 2 is 4, which is greater than 3. So this fraction is greater than 1/2. Because remember that if I can multiply my numerator by 2 and I get the denominator, then that fraction is exactly 1/2. So since when I multiply over here, I get a number greater than my denominator, I know that 2/3 is greater than half, so it's going to round to 1. Okay, and then 4 1/4 comes in between 4 and 5. Remember, it's always the whole number and then the next whole number. All right, 1/4, I know that 1/4 is less than half because 2/4 is half. So this will round to 4. So 1 times 4 equals 4. So that's how you'll do that section. And we'll go on to the next section that you're going to do. Remember, you're skipping 7 through 15. So let's go to number 16. Okay, number 16 is 2/3 times 6/7. Okay, so I'm going to simplify first. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 6 twice. So I get 4/7. 4/7. Okay, let's go on to number 34. Number 34. Okay, I have 6 1/4 times 8 1/2. Remember, I need to change both of those to improper fractions before I start to multiply. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So 25/4 times 8 times 2 is 16, plus 1 is 17. So that'd be 17/2. And I see that I cannot simplify. There's 2 does not go into either of those numbers because they're both odd. So I cannot simplify. So I have to multiply. I know that 4 times 2 is 8. So I need to multiply 25 times 17. So I'll put that up here. 25 times 17. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 3 is 17. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. I need to add it up. So I get 425 over 8. Now I need to divide. 425 divided by 8. So I'll do that down here. 425 divided by 8. And I know that 8 goes into 42 5 times. And 5 times 8 is 40. Bring down my 5. 8 goes into 25 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. So I have 1 left. So this equals 53 1/8. Because remember, we do not want to leave an improper fraction. Okay, and then I will do one on the bottom. It says to simplify the fractions, then multiply. Let's do number 42. Number 42 is 5/8 times 16/25. Okay, I can see that 8 will go into 8 and 16. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 16 divided by 8 is 2. Then 5 goes into 5 and 25. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So I multiply and I get 2/5. So you're going to go ahead and do all the even problems on page 192. You do not have to do 193 today. Just 192, the even problems.